All right, let's get started. Hi, I'm Bill, and welcome to one more video. And before I go, the purpose of this video is to update you where I'm at relative to me leaving StarFront observatories in Rockwood, Texas. But before I get to that, Happy New Year. And if you would like to help me keep this channel going, please drop me an email to astrochatterpodcast@gmail.com. I need your help. What I'd like to become is the interviewer, so I'm looking for interviewees. So basically a 20-minute video where you share a bit about yourself, how you got into astrophotography, what do you enjoy about it, show some of your work, maybe share 3 to 5 tips for someone new entering into astrophotography or thinking about becoming an astrophotographer, and those type of things. I'd like to hit a rhythm of at least one per month. If there are more people who are willing to volunteer to share their work and be a part of the videos to help educate and inform others, then I'll do more than once a month. So please keep that in mind. But if you've been following the channel, you know I made a decision to sell my telescopes. And you know, it's kind of funny that the way I got into telescopes and astrophotography is I was doing this. And what you see here is some of my photography gear, light modifiers, cameras, lights, those type of things. And I had just gotten to the point where I had started to feel comfortable enough to sell my photography portrait services, and I had secured my first customer, did my first photo shoot after a couple of years of giving away my services for free via what we call time for print. In return for a person willing to be a model for me, I would provide her with a number of digital images from the photo shoot. And that was very important to me because I needed to learn how to light people of all different types of skin tones. To be considered a good photographer, you really have to be able to produce with your lighting an actual representation of the person that you are photographing. And so skin tones become very important. And so I was fortunate enough to attract a range of mostly women, but I did a few men as well, so I could teach myself how to properly light and how to properly process the images to reflect an accurate skin tone. And so I got my first customer and COVID hit. And that meant no more people coming into my home studio. And, you know, I said, oh, geez, you know, that's not too good. How long is this going to last? I don't know. So I said, well, what can I do with a camera? And I said, well, you know, there's astrophotography. I had the Canon 6D. And, you know, so I went and I purchased my first telescope, I guess about 5 years ago, the William Optics Zenithstar Z61. Slapped my Canon 6D onto the back of it. I think I used backyard EOS to do the data collection, and that's kind of how I got started. And then I sold my Canon 6D and my Canon L lenses, which were pretty pricey, but that raised the funds that I needed to get a mount. And get a cool camera, get a light panel. So it's kind of interesting in that photography and the connection of selling equipment and that. So, you know, I sold my portrait photography kit essentially. I did then move down to a Fuji film camera, and that provided the funds to get me started in astrophotography. So I just have now completed the sale of my Red Cat 51 as well as my Edge HD8 that were on piers at StarFront, and the sale of those two telescopes provided me with enough money to buy a Fujifilm GFX 100S 2 camera, which is a larger than full frame sensor. Some people refer to it as a medium format, but when I think medium format, I think of medium format in the film sense, but it is larger than a full frame. So, you know, I just wanted to kind of close the loop. I mean, this is what I was doing before astrophotography, COVID hit, sell equipment, buy telescope, buy mount, buy cooled camera, buy light panel, buy a second telescope, the Edge HD8, you know, buy another one, the Red Cat 51, and then I make the decision, okay, I really have been dealing with a situation from the vaccine. I had an adverse effect. It's taking a toll on me and those type of things. And I didn't want to put my wife in a situation where she was stuck. I was no longer around because of the challenges of the adversity due to the vaccine and what it's doing to me. And then I'm no longer here. And then she had to deal with the telescopes down in StarFront. So I said, okay, let's reinvent myself and go back to what I was really passionate about and try to pick back up on starting my photography business and also doing portrait photography for fun and those type of things. So that's why I really sold my equipment. And in the process of selling it so my wife wouldn't have to deal with it, it enabled me to buy a really nice camera for both portrait photography as well as landscape photography. So I want to make it perfectly clear, my experience at StarFront observatories was top shelf. It was phenomenal. It was so many more dark night skies. You know, yeah, I would image when the moon was up for HA and S2. And okay, so when the moon's up, you don't really have Bortle 1, but those Bortle 1 nights, when you did have them, they were fantastic. I only had a couple of issues down there with a cable coming loose on my Red Cat 51 that went into my ZWO EAF focuser, and it had to be reseated. Nate, one of the engineers down there, did a phenomenal job in getting me up and running on the install. It was actually the end of December of 2024 when I dropped my stuff off at StarFront. And phenomenal job. I got excellent response from the team there. And this was at a period of time where they're continuing to grow. So their workload was going up, but I always got what I felt was excellent service from them. The skies were great. Hey, it rains sometimes, you got to close the roofs. Well, that's the way it goes, All I do is, shut things down programmatically and, step away from my desk in the house here and say, okay, not going to happen tonight. But so I just want to make it really crystal clear that my experience at StarFront was excellent. I would recommend anyone that's looking for a remote observatory really take a look at them. Based upon my experience, I can recommend them highly. I think you would have a similar experience as well. But anyway, so this is kind of the closing. No more telescopes. New owners. Thank you, Ben, for purchasing, if you happen to see this, the Edge HD8. And Glenn, thank you for purchasing the Red Cat 51. It was fun getting to know you and your son a little bit and working with you on that transition. So that was great. But so now, I turned my attention to picking back up on portrait photography as well as learning landscape photography. So there is Bill Poplawski Photography YouTube channel. But I would like to, one goal I always had was not making the astrophotography story about me, but making it about you. You know, I was really hoping that I would get people willing to come onto the channel, use my capability to produce a video, edit it, get the right audio and everything, display their images and all that, and then publish that so you could share your story. And I want to thank the several people that early on when Patrick and I kind of got Astro Chatter podcast up and running, you know, Lee Pullen from Urban Astrophotography over in the UK for coming on and talking about his approach and sharing his work. And then, you know, it was Simon from ZWO. That was a lot of fun, and others for making that happen. I guess I just didn't beat the drum enough. But again, if you would like to help educate others through your efforts, I'd be happy to interview you and produce, do all the production work and everything so that we could share your story with others. And through that process, they would get a diversity of approaches and ideas because, you know, that was the thing I was always trying to do. You know, I went with this telescope and that telescope, but there are so many other options that people could get engaged with, and I'd like to share those stories with the audience. So astrochatterpodcast@gmail.com if you want to help me keep the channel going. Otherwise, don't expect any new content, but I do hope someone picks up the challenge and allows me to interview you and see how that goes. All right. Thanks again. I want to thank all my viewers and subscribers for sticking with the channel, and hopefully with the effort of some of you, we could keep this channel going a little bit more and kind of expand the diversity of content around different telescopes and those type of things. But we'll see how it goes. It will go the way it goes. But other than that, I really want to thank you, and I want to thank you for all your comments and sharing stuff about yourself through the comments and those type of things, and all the positive comments that I got over the years, and those type of things. But if you're interested in portrait photography and landscape photography, similar thing, I'll be documenting my journey on Bill Poplawski Photography YouTube channel. I've got 46 subscribers right now, and but I'm ready to start putting up new content and sharing what I know about portrait photography, headshots, editorial photography, environmental photography, and then sharing my experience as I'm trying to learn landscape photography. So keep that in mind. Other than that, wherever you may be in the world, I guess 18th of January, new moon time. Hopefully you have clear skies when you want to image. And I just want to say, if anyone from StarFront sees this, thank you so much. You made an excellent experience for me. The value proposition was tremendous. For $199 a month per peer for me, the value I got for that was super tremendous, and I still have a backlog of data that I got to sit down and process and get through all that. So guys, and I don't know if there's women on the team yet at StarFront. Thank you so much. You're a great group. You provide an excellent service, excellent skies down there, and really like how you managed everything. And your level of communication on Discord and those type of things were exceptional. So thank you. All right. Other than that, maybe I'll see you, maybe I won't. Depends on you. Let me know. astrochatterpodcast@gmail.com. Till next time.